This may not be a comfortable conversation.
Okay.
I know you want to hang out, and be friends, and pretend like everything is the same, but it isn't. I felt like you were leading me on to believe you were a different person, when you were really thinking something else.
When? How?
I know that you feel like people abandoned you because of your decisions and thoughts, but I feel like you've abandoned us.
I haven't. I am still here.
You had doubt about your faith longer than you let on. And you hid it from your parents for a place to live, and I feel like that's deceitful, and it bothered me. I don't know you.
It was kind of a nightmare. And admitting it to myself was the hardest part.
I don't know who you are. You aren't the friend I admired, and hung out with all the time.
I hid it from my parents because they have their own problems and I didn't know how they would react. I didn't know if they wouldn't want me in the house or not. I had to get things set up. It wasn't out of anything devious, it was about practicality.
It was deceitful and beneficial and easier for you to do it that way, so you did. Your parents had a right to know, since you were living in their house. And I can't think of it in any other way than being deceitful.
And that's why I made plans to leave.
Because bottom line, you were hiding it from them.
I told my mom not long after I told my friends. I told my brothers before I told her. I wasn't living in that house trying to deceive people. Honestly, I would have moved out sooner, had I not been going overseas in May. Nothing was easy about this.
But you made your decision and now you have to deal with it.
Deal with it how? I just addressed your concerns about being deceitful and you changed to a different angle, by the way.
I told you, you hid it for a while, which was deceitful. And that was that. To me, that was the end of that topic.
My relationship with my parents wasn't exactly healthy.
And that's another change of topic. Your parents had nothing to do with how I feel about you. Which is what I thought this was what this conversation was about.
It is the same topic. Because I didn't know how they would react. I had to get my things in order. Thus, I hid it for like 2 months.
So you told your friends, and at the same time you hid it from everyone for 2 months. That doesn't make you rise in my estimation. You're just showing me that I didn't know you at all.
I told my friends in February. And I told my mom in about April.
That's awful.
You don't see this from my point of view at all. I knew what I was considering would be the end of my way of life up to that point. It's not an easy thing to come to terms with or share with people. And if telling my mom meant I would be on the street, I couldn't tell her until I could move out. I didn't know for sure what she would do.
In my life there have been times when I have had doubt. Before my baptism, I have thought about it. I know what would happen. I dedicated my life to God and promised to live a certain lifestyle. That's what baptism is about. I take it very seriously. I expect that others do too.
But there is no honorable way out of it if you are baptized. I had to plan carefully. What if you are like me and you come to understand that none of it is real? Who is your promise to?
You should not have been baptized if you had doubts.
I didn't have doubts back then.
But you were.
I was a kid though. And who is the promise to?
But you went through with it. You promised God and you promised in a building full of people to fulfill your promise. You promised your friends and family.
So I should stick around even if I don't believe in God? I should just continue to pretend?
You should know that if you break your promise, you break with your friends. We expected you to keep your promise. That's a huge part of forming friendships within the congregation. We know those people, when baptized, will continue to fulfill that promise.
That is the definition of conditional friendship, and I don't need it, and that's why I could leave, because I saw exactly how conditional my friends were.
And when people break that promise, they break our hearts, and they break with God, whom as baptized people we have promised to live as He asks us to.
I don't trust most of them now.
You don't get it.
How don't I get it?
Everything I knew about you was based on a lie. I'm not talking about what you do now, or in the future. I'm talking about what happened.
No, there was a time when I really believed it. That time was real. But for the first time I am starting to find the real me. I have changed, and I am actually very happy.
I liked and loved who I thought you were. But I don't know you anymore.
Well, it wasn't really me. But I am basically the same as I was, actually. Just a little more assertive and minus a forced belief in God.
And if you made a commitment to God and now don't believe in Him, and my whole life revolves around God and my hope and what He's promised, I cannot continue to be a friend to you.
Why?
You abandoned your promise and everything that entailed.
I have friends in school who are devout Christians and they don't have a problem with my lack of faith.
I made a promise to God to live the way He asks me to. I'm keeping my commitment. You left and I can't come with you.
Tell me honestly. Hypothetically, if you found out for sure that He didn't exist, what would you do?
That would never happen. Never.
Hypothetically.
I know there is a God and I know it's Jehovah.
And I get that. And I respect that.
If there was no God, I wouldn't be here.
What if it was a different God? What if the way you see things isn't the way they are supposed to be seen?
Don't you get it that I'm so sure that Jehovah is real that nothing else is possible to me?
Very much. But I am asking a hypothetical question.
But you'll get the same answer. Jehovah is God. If there wasn't a God, no one would exist. This planet wouldn't be here. The stars would not exist. There would be nothing.
What are you afraid of? Why can't you consider a simple what-if question?
But there is a God and His name is Jehovah.
What if there isn't?
Because I know the truth. And your what-ifs don't change that.
I don't want them to. I want you to see it through my perspective.
I see God in everything. I won't be swayed otherwise, and I won't pretend He isn't there.
I want you to have your perspective, but I want you to also respect mine.
I won't pretend there isn't a God to make you feel better about your lack of faith.
I love my lack of faith. This is the happiest I've ever been.
And I understand that. But the you I knew loved God. And I love that person.
Not really, actually. It is hard to pick out the ones that are just going along with it. They know how to walk and how to talk, but if they leave they will lose everything.
I wish I had known, because I would have let you go then, because neither of us would be in this position now. And it disgusts me that you led me on like that.
I didn't lead you on. I was led on too. I never had another perspective. I never had a choice.
That's not true. I'm 5th generation. And I myself, made the decision to be baptized. I made the decision to go in service, and how I did that.
That doesn't mean anything to me. I don't care if you're a direct descendant from Russell himself.
I made the decisions about who I was friends with, and who I wasn't.
I am saying that I never got a choice.
That's not true. Everyone has a choice. You let yourself be told what to do. There is always a choice.
To get thrown out on the street, or to keep on keeping on. Some choice.
But there is a choice.
I couldn't even consider that option. It was forbidden.
And you would not have been thrown out of your house. Legally you'd be provided for, and you were 18, and even then they may have taken care of you.
I am not saying those were the choices you had. But they were definitely my only options. And I am saying that 18-year-olds can provide for themselves yet.
You considered it, and decided you liked having your home and dog to go home to.
You calling me a coward?
There are places you can go, if you have nothing. You know what? Yes, I think you were a coward.
I hadn't started doubting then. The mind control of that house was so freaking messed up. We couldn't even consider the possibility of doing anything different.
I'm sorry, but I think that you were a coward and a liar.
Maybe I was a coward, but I am not anymore. Maybe I was a liar, but I am not anymore.
And whether or not you were a coward and a liar then or now, that makes you a person I don't want to know.
I know who I am, and I am stronger than I ever thought I was.
You've made your choice, and so have I.
I don't have to take crap I don't want to, and I don't have to go along with everyone just because I am scared.
I don't care.
This is who I am.
I've already told you what I think and feel. The way you've handled all of this has made me decide that I don't want to know you.
And if you change your mind, I'm still here for you. But I'm not cowering under the threat of being on the street anymore, and I'm in a position to help you if you ever need it.
I don't need your help or want it.
Never say never.
I have Jehovah. He'll take care of me. I know He will.
My friendship is not conditional like some. You were once my friend and I still consider you to be my friend. So I say again, if you change your mind, I am still here.
Goodbye.
See you later.
No, you won't.
Never say never.